Oh, where am I today? So I'm in St. Louis, so how appropriate that I make this part of the film from a hotel room in some random place in the United States. You know, leading into the fall here, it's always an anniversary for me. October of 2020 is when I got my car. So this year, marks 3 years of me having that car. It's also, at the same time, it's always the fall, Fiat on the Dragon.
Well, if you ever wonder how exactly I really feel, well, never good enough. And if you ever wonder why I keep my fingers on the steel, well, keeps my spirits up. And I keep on keeping on, you can rest assured. As long as I'm alive and ever be somewhere, plugged in and turned on, plugged in and turned on, plugged in and turned on, plugged in and turned on. Oh Lord, help me please. Oh Lord, help me please. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Well, if you ever wonder what drives my wheel, well, I just wanna feel. And if you ever wish all this bullshit would just disappear, well, let's be free and groove on. Music is my escape, and Lord knows in this day and age, I gotta find a peace of mind somehow, some way. Let's get plugged in and turned on. 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 Oh Lord, help me please. Oh Lord, help me please. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Oh, yeah. Well, if you ever wonder why the powers that be keep all the money, well, I think you know why. And if you ever wonder why you gotta work your whole life just to get by, well, their money's your time. It ain't hard to see. If you really wanna be free, you gotta stop living and dying for the money. Let's get plugged in and turned on. 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 Oh keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Oh yeah.
So early October is a little bit of an anniversary for me. October of 2020 is when I got my Barth. It kind of coincides going out with Fiat on Dragon now that, you know, my car goes out for that event. It's kind of my anniversary run. Me talking to you about that today, it's really, really funny to me because here we are in St. Louis right now, chasing a band around. So it's kind of fun that I get to do this video kind of on the road because this year's Fiat on the Dragon was a bit of a road trip. It was a good road trip too. That road trip took us to a lot of different places. We started out in Bristol. We stayed out in Maggie's Valley, and then we went out to Fontana Village and stayed. So we really got a good 3-day run across, you know, a good portion of the United States in the fall. This year's fall colors were amazing, absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. I'll always say, you know, if you don't, you got to go in the fall. The fall is just better because it's a little more relaxed. It's unplugged. It's not really as planned. It's loose. Things are subject to change, and it's always a good time. So I love doing the fall event. It's always one of my favorites. So we started in Bristol this year. I like a day to travel to get down there to relax. I don't like getting there and having to jump straight into driving the next day. Like, I like time to kind of mellow out and not feel rushed, not feel like we're, you know, pushing a time schedule or anything else. Because the worst thing for me is this is a relaxed trip, so I don't ever want to feel like I'm rushed and I'm pushing everything. So this year it was a road trip. You know, typically we hover around Townsend, but this one we kind of spread it out and kind of moved around. And it was really, really good. So Wednesday night, Brian and I got in. You guys got to meet Brian this year. So I brought my best friend with me this time. Brian's got a 79 124 Spider. It wasn't quite ready for the event, so he showed up in his Focus, and he had a good time. But Brian and I, Wednesday, kind of went out and scoped out a couple of spots that we wanted to do some video work and some photo work. You know, kind of planning Thursday morning that we would go for kind of a morning cruise or a morning drive and get some pictures in. So we went out to the Snake, which is 421, and we went out to the boat dock. Got some really, really good drone shots from out there. Brian took some amazing photos. He's always very, very skilled at that, so I always appreciate it. We took drone footage. Went and hung back out, you know, in Bristol for a little while. Started meeting up kind of with people. I had kind of set like an early afternoon, like, let's go for a cruise, right? I mean, we're out here, that's what we're doing anyways. So I figured anybody in early that wanted to go for a ride could definitely join me and we would go. So I made a small event. We were taking part of the Snake, which was part of the route we were going to take anyways, but I wanted to go out and kind of run through and just get a drive in with some, you know, friends of mine. So Thursday, David Clark showed up, which you guys know is my Barth bestie from South Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina. David and I started Carolina Barth together. I know you guys already know all that story and all that good stuff. So David came down. You know, David and I have been through a lot, so we're always, you know, brothers when it comes to this thing, and we always kind of try to do these trips together. And then this year we added Brian to that mix as well. David showed up, and then my good friends Don and Debbie Yates showed up in their gorgeous yellow 124 Spider. I talk about it almost every time we do a Dragon event because it is one of my favorite cars of the whole thing. It's beautiful. It sounds nice. Don's a really good driver. He's a very good person and a friend. And at this point, it's to the point where I kind of consider Don and Debbie family after this year. So we took a run up the Snake. We got some really good footage coming up, and then we got stuck behind this guy on a motorcycle doing like 12 miles an hour. Like, you know, just Oh, so typical of a dragon run that you go down and you run into somebody who was doing way under the speed limit through the roads and wouldn't get off, wouldn't move or anything else. So we made that run. Took a couple of photos out by the lake with Don and Debbie and David, of course. And Brian rode shotgun with me. This was Brian's first Fiat on the Dragon event. Really, really glad he came. He had a lot of fun. So we did the snake. It's not super technical, nowhere near as technical as maybe like Tail of the Dragon, Secret Road, those kind of places. But it was good. A lot of second gear action, a couple of really good, tight, twisty switchback sections. Very, very pretty. It was really, really neat this year because, of course, we were kind of traveling, doing a road trip thing, so we were moving across 2 states for sure. And in that move, I think, over the course of 2 days, we basically covered about 500 or so miles through Tennessee and North Carolina. The colors this year were amazing. They were a little bit on the green side when we showed up and we were in Bristol. But as we progressed, towards Fontana on our last day, everything really started to pop. So perfect time of the year to see the colors. If you have not seen the fall colors in Tennessee, it will rival the colors anywhere in the world. They are beautiful. It is amazing. The views there are great. I cannot rant and rave enough about how, I think Tennessee is probably my spiritual home overall because I could spend the rest of my life just driving up and down the roads out there in that area. In North Carolina, Tennessee, right there, kind of Blue Ridge Mountains. It's absolutely beautiful. When we got done doing our run up the Snake, we went into Bristol to the Sessions Hotel. That's where everybody was staying. We hung out on the rooftop bar with a lot of people. Mike and Chris Manns from North Carolina came. They're part of our Carolina Bards group that David and I started a while back ago. We went to dinner with them. It was good to catch up with old friends. Mike and Chris are super nice people. They were in a white 500 Abarth, which is Chris, which is Mike's wife's car. But they're an Italian family, so they've got a 4C, they've got a 500X, they've got a 500. So awesome that they've got those. But yeah, their first time out, they brought out the 500, which was amazing. I really, really like Chris's car. The new black wheels. So nice on that thing. But we decided we were going to go to dinner after hanging out at the Sessions with everybody else, get a chance to catch up. And it was a lot of fun to catch up with everybody. This year, there's a really big theme that came out of this year's event. There really is. So, kind of hung out with people Thursday, caught up with everybody, hung out at the Sessions, went to dinner with, friends, and then we went back to hotel, crashed out, got up in the morning. We got up early. We went and did some drone work and some photo work at the Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia sign, which brings one of my favorite pictures of the whole weekend, which is David and I's car sitting next to the wall where it says Peck, Tennessee. Just one of my favorite photos. We got everybody together at the Sessions. On the backside of the Sessions, there's this nice little road, little hill. Sun was coming up behind it. We got everybody kind of lined up on the street right there, got some pictures. Kind of got everybody grouped up together so we could start getting on the road. And, we always have a good time. We jump on the road, right? So we did driver's meeting. Everybody gets in the cars. We head out of town. We get on 421 and, a little bit of traffic, a couple of cars. We get some space in between people by accident right there trying to get out of Bristol. Combine that with, the Reaver app failing on Brett at the wrong time. And just everything kind of happened at once. And, 20 minutes into our first drive, I think it was 20 minutes, if that, we made our first U-turn. So it was fun, right? The Fall Dragon is always unplugged. It's a little different. You don't get the exact precision because of the way we do it. It's way more relaxed. We move around a little bit more. It seems to be that when we do the fall one, we could have anything change the course of the day and us go a different direction. Doesn't mean that it's going to make the trip better or worse. It just means that trip is allowed to change and grow. It's kind of an organic thing when we go for the Fall Dragon because, again, when you get on the road, you can get out there and have a good time, but you can also change route, change course, go different ways. So we had a couple of U-turns, but we continued on towards Little Switzerland. Now, we were on our way to Little Switzerland, and we were kind of coming up, and I smelled what I thought was clutch. It was the first time of the day that I'd really smelled it, and I didn't know that if it was my car, if it was one of the cars around me, what it was, but I could smell it. And, if you know that distinct smell of clutch, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You could smell that in the air. We made a good drive. We did the snake. We took ourselves that day up to Little Switzerland. To the chalet for lunch. That place is beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. It is breathtaking while we were there. So Little Switzerland means going through the Diamondback, which is 226A. We went through the Diamondback. It's very technical. It was absolutely beautiful. Just getting up there towards Little Switzerland. The colors were in full change. The restaurant's beautiful. There's all of our cars lined up and parked. It was really, really nice. When we got there, though, we were all kind of parked up in kind of a group like we always do, and I could still smell that distinct smell of clutch. And I was like, I don't know whose car this is. This is not going to go well. So we got out of Little Switzerland and we went down to Marion. When we got to Marion, we kind of stopped and regrouped to get everybody back together because, again, there's a lot of traffic up there at the moment. With it being the fall and us being right in the peak of the peak. I mean, really the peak of the peak for color change. But there was a lot of people out.
Hey, Brad, everybody's still way back there. They weren't really fully lined up when we took off.
Well, we're also caught at a light, so give us just a minute.
Ride without stopping this long, strange trip. Everything's closed. What the hell am I supposed to do? I'm stranded again. What the hell am I supposed to do? It's late at night and we don't know what's in our future. If you don't know, let the road be your teacher. So let's just ride without stopping this long, strange trip. Ride without stopping. All I've got to give to a ride. There was about 30 minutes ago. GPS is a mess, radio stuck on a Christian shore. We on a drive, but we're only passengers. If you surrender and go with the flow, let your ride be your teacher. Let's just ride without stopping this long, strange trip. Ride without stopping. All I've got to give. Ride without stopping this long, strange trip. Ride without stopping. All I've got to give. Letting it flow, here and later plans. Hotels far away, but we still wanna smoke with some fans. We gotta get home, we leave at 7 a.m. But we're here right now and we don't want this.
So we regrouped in Marion, and we moved on to Highway 80, which is also known as the Devil's Whip. Devil's Whip I've done before with Carolina Barth. It's always a fun drive. It is on the more technical side. It is tight, but it's a lot of fun. But that's where the first set of problems turned up for this trip. The first set of problems on there, I was kind of towards the back. Yuri was behind me, and Thomas Schmidt was in front of me with his tan X19. A lot of you might have seen that car at Midwest-Bayless's open house this summer. It was the first time I had seen Thomas with that car when he came in with it. I know he had been having trouble with his Barth, and it had a bad engine, so he was working on getting that taken care of, so he brought out his X19. His X19, the first time I saw it, the first thing I thought was, oh my God, like somebody just did a complete fresh restore. Like, man, this car looks amazing. Come to find out, Thomas has had that car for years, and that car has never been restored. So it's just very, very well clipped, well kept, pristine quality car, just absolutely gorgeous. But going up 80, we came around one corner, and Thomas's car just came to a stop. Me and Yuri kind of hopped out trying to help him out, figure out what was going on. It was very, very obvious right out the gate from the video that you can see. Thomas's car was not wanting to move forward. I thought the clutch had finally went out on it. You could still smell some clutch in the air, but he finally got it to move. It finally grabbed in fourth gear with a little bit of a push and everything else. We got him up and going. Brett doubled back to us because we had stopped completely for a little bit. So we all kind of, led Thomas's car back out so that way we could kind of get it someplace where they could look at it. And that's really where the Fiat family came in this year. Everybody instantly in that moment where Thomas's car started having problems, everybody jumped in wanting to help, wanting to fix things, wanting to do what they can. The wealth of knowledge on these cars when you're up at Tail of the Dragon with these people is immense. So there's a whole bunch of knowledge, amongst us about these cars and their issues and things like that. So they had trouble with Thomas's car. They did struggle to get it back to the hotel. When they got it back to the hotel, everybody kind of, jumped in to try to help it out. They got up in the air a little bit. They started looking at stuff to see what it was. A lot of people had a lot of thoughts on it. They thought, maybe, shift linkage wasn't working right because it would catch in second gear and fourth gear, but not first and third. It was just one of those odd things where everybody was really trying to figure out what was going on. Thomas, really, really kind of took it hard a little bit. Car's in great condition, so it having transmission problems up there was a little bit of a pain for everybody. Now, we get into Maggie Valley for our second night, right? Had to go down the interstate past Asheville, which again, that area right now, at that time of the year, was just absolutely beautiful. Like, I absolutely loved the way it looked. So, this is where my shenanigans started. We went to dinner at the Clarion Hotel. There's this great little Mexican restaurant. I brought a bottle of Patron Silver with me. All weekend long I've been making jokes about drinking tequila with everybody. And so a couple of us sat at a smaller table, and then there was just one giant big table. And so I tipped the bartender very, very well, but she pulled me up like 35 shots of water, and I sent him over to the table. I'm glad you guys got your hydration that day. But that was the first of the shenanigans of this trip, right? I knew that I was going to mess with people. I knew we were going to have a good time because we're friends, right? And after this trip, a bunch of us just are family at this point, trying to get everybody's stuff together and figure it out. We really come together as a team when things go on. Good morning from Maggie Valley. It is raining. It's still dark out. There's Abby. And over here is Brian's Focus. Now, Brian's sleeping and doesn't know that I rebadged his car last night. So feel free to give him all the shit today and let him know that he gets to be one of us now after his first trip. But we are definitely not a Ford anymore. get them. That night, after dinner and joking around with everybody, David and Brian and I and Mark, we all go over and we kind of hang out at the hotel for a little bit and have a couple of shots of tequila and chat and hang out. It's good to catch up. I moved away from South Carolina last year, so my catch-up time with David typically revolves around us doing the Tail of the Dragon events. It was a lot of fun, and I always am happy to see David. He is one of my absolute favorite people when it comes to the Abarth clubs and things like that. He's just one of the nicest, most even-keeled people you would meet out there. So we got up in the morning, and the next morning Thomas's car is still being a pain. It really did not want to go into gear at all. Don Yates decided that he was going to take his car back home and come back with a truck and trailer to be able to get Thomas's car out of the mountains. Don, we're very thankful for you. You really are the unsung hero of this trip, helping out Thomas getting his car. I know you have some other things in the works too. I know we got some other stuff we've talked about. But really, Don, thank you from everybody at the event this year for just being an absolute rock star and helping Thomas out, helping us get his car to where we could actually get it looked at and get it fixed. Also, a big thank you to Brett, because I know Brett had that car pulled back to his house, so that way he at least had some place for it to sit so he could look at it and try to work on it. It really comes down to the fact, though, that on the final morning, they did drain some of the transmission fluid off, find metal in the transmission. So Thomas's car needed a transmission. And it came apart. But even with it coming apart, we still acted as family, as a group. We still all pulled together. We didn't leave anybody behind. So I'm really proud of how we are as a group. And I think that's really important, right? Car clubs, are built on people and cars. But the more and more this year, it was people. It really was a group of friends together, and far less about just being a car club. When I say that, I mean half the people, at least half the people at this year's fall event are friends of mine. We chit chat, we talk, we have good times together. So it's really getting more and more the longer you do these events with people. These are your friends, right? These are your people that you might only see them twice a year at the Fiat on the Dragon events, but these are your people. They're going to be there for you. They're going to show up. They're going to help you when things go wrong. And that's important, right? There's a lot of negativity in the world. So to see everybody band together in a positive way and help Thomas get his car back to where it get fixed and get looked at, that was amazing to me. You guys, I applaud you. All you guys are amazing at what you do, and you're great people. And I could hang out with the finest people in the world, but I'd rather be out there with you guys on the road, even if it's the side of the road, looking at somebody's broken car. I'd rather do that than anything else nowadays. So we got up that morning. We did driver's meeting. John Montgomery went ahead and gave us kind of a rundown about what was going on with the Fiat Freakout 2024. John is actually, kind of setting up and scheduling that event and putting everything together for it. And I say kind of, let me phrase that. So John Montgomery is actually putting together our Fiat Freakout 2024 in Greenville, South Carolina. That is going to be an absolute blast of an event. John, very, very long-term member of FCA, has, really done a lot of work to make the event going to be a really good one. Which does include some drives out to the mountains. So I really hope that I see all of you at the Freakout this year, because it should be a damn good one this time. We left the Clarion Hotel that morning. It was still kind of raining. It was still kind of foggy. Our radio chatter, was very, very active as we were leaving Maggie Valley that day. Everybody was in good spirits. Everybody was having a good laugh.
Check 1, 2. Check. Okay, do we know who's in back? I can tell you Tom will be in the back somewhere.
I can dip back and hold for everybody.
man. Just try to get out. I'll wait for everybody to go up the road.
Got it.
I can stand the rain against my window, bringing back sweet memory. That window pane, do we remember how sweet it used to be? When we were together, everything was so great. Now that we parted, there's one thing I can't stay. I can't stand the rain against my window, bringing back sweet memory. I can't stand the rain against my window, 'cause she's not here with me. Oh, empty pillow where her head lay, the long window, there's one thing I can't stay. I can't stand the rain. Bringing back sweet memory. I can't stand the rain against my window when she's not here with me.
Yeah, Jackson Stokes.
We went up Blue Ridge Parkway that day. Typically, we don't do Blue Ridge Parkway. That's not a Spring Dragon thing. It's not that kind of road. Blue Ridge Parkway, Blue Ridge Parkway is pretty, and it's a great drive to look out the window and see the scenery and those kind of things. It's not a technical road. It's not a fast road. It's not someplace you can really speed because of where it is. So it's not a road that we often take, but in the fall, it is absolutely beautiful up there. I mean, the color changes we were up there in Blue Ridge was just absolutely amazing. So we left Maggie Valley, right? And Thomas's car had second and fourth gear. So with his car having second and fourth gear, he did try to make it, through part of the day. It eventually failed out. It was eventually stuck completely. That's where Brian kind of snapped in. Brian happened to be with that group of people when all of that happened. So when Thomas's car broke down, everybody kind of banded together. They got it somewhere out of the way so they could leave it and they could catch back up with the group. We talk about, download Google Maps before you go. And we talk about that because there is no service up there. So where Thomas's car broke down, nobody in that group had any cell service and really didn't know which way to go. Thankfully, Thomas had an old Garmin GPS that was in the trunk of his X19. So they got that out and managed to get down to Highlands with us. We met up in Highlands and holy shit, was that a absolute shit show. Now I don't mean that in a negative way, but man, the parking was absolutely ridiculous. That parking situation presented a really funny opportunity for me and Jason Hall to double stack our cars on the street and get away with it. I have no idea how we didn't get a ticket, but nobody bothered us about it. Good time though, right? We stopped, we had some pizza. Thomas and Tammy Stillwell wound up buying bananas for like $12. That's the kind of place this place was. So, you'd think you'd go and get something cheap and you're going to get bananas and then you find out that they're like $4.69 a pound instead of 69 cents a pound like they usually are at the King Soopers or the Kroger or something like that. Which was really funny to a lot of us, like just absolutely cracked us up that $12 bananas. Like that's some high dollar bananas right there. So Thomas hopped in with Brett after the car broke down. Don, Debbie left to go get truck and trailers so they get Thomas's car towed back. And we kind of kept on and kept running. They did find metal in Thomas's transmission. There were pieces coming apart in it, so it needed a transmission. It was just coming apart. Happened to happen on that trip. Don, like I said, was absolute champion of the fall Fiat on Dragon. He went back, got a truck, got a trailer, got Thomas's car to a safe place so they could get it looked at and get it fixed. Next time you see Don Yates, buy him a drink, grilled cheese sandwich, something, bribe him. But he is amazing. I'm very, very thankful for everything he did this year. So after lunch, we gathered all of our cars and we just took off through the mountains. We do a run down Highway 28 from Highlands into Franklin. And then we got on Wire Road. Everybody knows Wire Road is absolutely one of my favorite places to be in the world. So down Wire Road, absolutely great drive, as we always happen. They made the effort this year to try to change my opinion on the Wire Road too. They showed me Secret Road this year, which I hadn't been on, which we got to see all of the drift marks on it from some of the videos that were shot out there earlier this year professionally. Brett, I'm going to give you my honest review on it, man. Secret Road is a little too bumpy for me to really, really like it, but it's good. It's super cool up there in the mountains, and it's one of those roads nobody knows about. And so we kind of keep that secret that it is Secret Road.
This is technically now the Secret Road. Everybody back there? Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, for those who know where it is, you know where it is. Keep that information to yourself. Everybody else, I'm sorry. That's the Secret Road. Come join us at Tail of the Dragon. You can find out where that road is. Be a lot of fun. But we took that into Fontana Village. I've never stayed at Fontana, you know. David and I, like, typically when we come down, we get an Airbnb. We don't, stay at the hotel. We kind of have a little bit of space between us, which my friends don't like, I come to find out. They'd rather me go stay in the hotel with them. We'll see. I still think I need to get an Airbnb in the spring, just invite everybody over to drink tequila with me. But we went ahead and made that run to Secret Road, and then we went into Fontana. The Fontana was absolutely amazing. It's not super fancy or super nice, but it's the nature of what the place is. So given it's early October, right? And we show up out there and there is the largest gathering of GTRs in the world going on, as far as I know. I know that they were talking about it being a record, but didn't apply for it with Guinness Book of World Records because of the cost and things like that. But massive amount of GTRs out there and Porsches. And Fontana Village does a really good job of catering to motorcycle and automotive enthusiasts. It's out there in the mountains. It's got a beautiful view. It's a very big property. It's got lots of space, which is really important when you've got cars coming through, right? Because obviously, like, yeah, it's great to be at a hotel and they have parking, but when you show up with, an R32 GTR, you kind of want to make sure it's parked someplace where nobody's going to bother it. So Fontana is really, really pretty. It's really, really neat. I do, want to make another stay out there because it was absolutely gorgeous. That night, we went to dinner at the restaurant at Fontana. Everybody kind of piled in together, which was absolutely amazing to hang out with everybody and have dinner. After dinner, everybody kind of made their way around, but a group of us went down to the lobby of the hotel, just sit around the fire and kind of drink and swap stories and talk and have a good time. More important this year than anything, we felt like a family. We helped everybody out. We went through all the trouble with Thomas's car. Almost everybody at some point of this trip could tell you a story about helping Thomas with his car or being there when it broke down, those kind of things. So it's really, really good to see everybody bonded together and how everybody works together. It's just amazing to me. A couple of people I do still want to mention, do still want to talk about. My absolute favorite photo from the entire trip is Ofer and Michelle in the white Julia on Tail of the Dragon. They went early in the morning while it was still dark and kind of rainy, and the pictures are so good. Of course, Ofer and Michelle are two of my favorite people from Fiat on Dragon. They're going to be at the Texas Spring thing in March. I hope you guys are. It should be a good time. Hint, hint, wink, wink. You should go. So that night while we're at Fontana, the Banana Man came. The Banana Man. Have you met the Banana Man? The Banana Man. Damn you, Paul. Damn you, Paul. Anyways, so Paul, you guys might know him as Smart Man on YouTube. He's got the red 124. Paul is always down for pulling a prank. So last year at the Fall Dragon, he put for sale signs on everybody's car, which was absolutely hilarious to me. This time, though, he went around and put bananas on everybody's car and tailpipes and on door handles and like all of that stuff. Like it was absolutely like the highlight of a prank on there. Where'd you get a banana?
Paul. Oh, sorry. Banana Man Paul Mejia.
So to keep going with Thomas Stillwell buying $12 bananas, Paul went ahead and bought bananas and bananaed everybody's car and in tailpipes. And it was absolutely hilarious that morning to get up and get a free breakfast from the Banana Man. If you guys have not checked out Paul's YouTube channel, he is Smart Man on YouTube. Absolutely go check him out. Paul is absolutely funny and hilarious and absolutely great time to hang out with. If you guys get a chance, please do. Paul, you're amazing. Thank you, friend. It's a wonderful trip hanging out with you guys. I really think what keeps me coming back to this event, and I think what a lot of us keep coming back to, is people, right? Sure, Tennessee and North Carolina are absolutely beautiful. We absolutely love the Smoky Mountains. We love the roads. But if we went up there and were with terrible people, we wouldn't enjoy it. So really for us, it was very, very enjoyable to be able to go up there and do it with friends. And that's the biggest thing about this is that, I come back from every Tail of the Dragon trip with at least 5 new friends. with at least 5 new people that, you know, I would absolutely, you know, go for a drive with at any time, that I would help fix their car anytime. Just, it's amazing the people you meet, and it's amazing how good it is up there. There's so many people that I could thank and want to thank and could talk about. You know, I could go on for days about all of you guys. I really could. I mean, you guys are amazing, and I love the crap out of you. And as I said repeatedly, while drinking Patron next to the fire, I love you guys, and there's nothing you can do about it. So just remember, we're family. Everybody stay safe. Riverside down. We'll see everybody in the spring for some more fun. And then, of course, the Fiat Freakout is in the same area, so I'm hoping to see all of you for that as well. Again, be safe. Riverside down. We'll see you in the spring.
It's too long till I'll see you, and it's too long I'll be gone, and it's too long till I'll see you, it's too long I'll be gone, it's too long. I hope you're well, I hope your plants are healthy, I hope you have the rest you need. I hope you finally had the time to learn that second language. I hope you found the space to leave some bags behind. I hope you're fine. It's been too long since I've seen you. It's too long I've been gone. It's been too long since I've seen you. It's been too long I've been gone. It's too long. I hope you're well, I hope your pets are healthy, I hope you have the friends you need. I hope you finally had the time to plant that giant garden. I hope you found the space to treat yourself with kindness. I hope you're fine. Oh, I've missed you. Who have tried to pass the days away staying inside. Who have missed you, who have cried, who brushed the tears away stepping outside. It won't be long until I see you. It won't be long, I'm coming home. It won't be long, I'm headed out now. It won't be long, I'm coming home. It won't be long.